against Gaming Gladiators. What a whole lot of fun we're going to have here. Very excited to see how both these drafts pan out, folks. I'm seeing kind of evil geniuses to get this troll coming in last pick. Looks pretty strong. You know,
looks good.
There are a lot of options. This was definitely one of the stronger ones to get in as that final pick. But at the same time, on the other side of things, Gaming Gladiators, they get the Quinn Pango again.
Yeah, I think that's maybe why they opted to go for the troll instead of like this like Ursa or Slark or something like that, because they left in the pool. They had to know this was coming. It's Quinn, loves this hero, popped off on it yesterday, went like, what, 16-1 and 30 or 16-1 and 15 or something like that. He was involved in like every kill, so they have to have known this was coming, but they have answers. Riki can be very annoying to play against even as a Pango. The Cloud is super obnoxious, and we know the way Matthew plays. He's incredibly disruptive, so honestly, I'm actually also vibing a bit with the way that EG set up their draft. They have a lot of mixed damage, great ways to counter the Lifestealer and the Pango potential, and Gaming, I think they are definitely going to rely a lot on Quinn and maybe even Tofu in this game, which have to talk about Tofu with his Rubik. He has some pretty good spells to steal versus this Lesh, versus the Primal Beast that we've seen before. So let's see how it all ends up going.
Now, let's see how this mid goes as well. I mean,
yes,
as you say, the fact that overall the confidence was there from EG because they leave this Pango in for Quinn, and in particular, of course, from Chris saying, you know what, I'm ready to go up against it mid, and I'm going to have a good time. Do you think he will on the Lesh?
Yeah, he should.
Yep.
Yeah, he should just be able to farm. Maybe like a slight advantage for the Lesh early, then Pango just starts to farm. We've seen these matchups so many times, and yeah, that tends to be what happens for it. Even though he is versus Lesh, we'll see how much Chris can actually bully, though. If he lands like a bunch of stuns early, gets a level advantage, then that's where he's able to perhaps push Quinn a little bit more. But yeah, it's only like slight lead, maybe like 200 gold or something out of laning phase. Yeah, Pakaz should have a very good start, though. Even though he's playing versus one of the more disruptive offlaners of this Nature's Prophet, it's a Troll Warlord with an IO, so he's going to have constant sustain. I like this build, too, from Panda. I've been wanting to see this more. I think most people just go Hedrus, but he's going for like this stats build, so he can actually trade right-clicks, assist in killing the treants and stuff like that. Of course, it delays a little bit of that regen, but it's going to be able to build into like Soul Ring and all that. That's great with a Lesh.
Top lane.
There's the lane to watch.
They're going to try and go for this here, but
definitely going to go for Celery. He's looking like he's in a lot of trouble.
Trying to block him off.
One more Blink Strike in 5 seconds. They're going to keep chasing. 2 seconds. Lost vision. Oh. He's actually perhaps okay.
With the Fairy Fire, I mean, they want to go in for this.
Oh my god.
You want to get this dive for it.
That's too far.
It is indeed. They back off.
All right.
Tower hits there. Celery.
Space. Looks like he was going to go down, but well played from Celery there. Distancing himself. Duracho gets that like whole wave. And Quinn is doing excellent in the first few levels. So if you do well in the first few waves, then it's very difficult for the Lesh to actually bully you at all. So well done by Quinn. Yeah, Whisper I think missed a couple of last hits trying to go for that kill there onto Celery, so he's going to be slowed down a little bit. Okay, so I've seen a couple different approaches from different players when you're up playing the Lesh versus Pango matchup. I believe it was like Stormstormer who just went stun and Edict one time, and it was actually really cool because as soon as the Pango hit 6, he rolled and actually just died to Edict. C-Smile, he's going more for just the farm build and just pressuring inside laning phase, going for Lightning Storm. So just different approaches from different players.
Yeah, I mean, overall, outside of the lane, like how good of a Pango game is it? You know, was this a case of Gaming Gladiators being like, oh my goodness, it's a fantastic Pango game, or is it just because Quinn's so solid on it, like other kind of teams wouldn't pick Pango in this situation? I
mean, I feel like there's almost never. It's like if you're versus Bloodseeker and stuff like that, it can be a bit of a tough Pango game, but I feel like this hero rarely has bad games. I think the two biggest things that he has to watch out for is Riki Cloud and when the Troll's able to get on top of him with like BKB and just keep him locked in place. But besides that, I mean, it's just tough to say what is really a bad Pango game. Tofu has to be a little bit careful bottom. He stepped up a bit far. Should be all right.
What do you imagine? Well, still on the troll, is it still kind of Battle Fury every game?
Celery. Oh, got the trample.
They get him this time.
Should be able to if they get the Blink Strike. He's got the ice armor, but it's not enough.
There we go.
Yeah, I think it's just Battle Fury, by the way.
Yeah, you just want to farm it up.
Yep.
And on the other side for Duracho, are we going to get kind of the Armlet into Radiance? Or you want to see Armlet Deso?
Oh, I mean, it's maybe tough to say mid lane.
They're going to have the heals here, but it's not enough. Not enough to save Chris. He goes down. Gaming Gladiators taking the attention towards the mid lane. And Evil Genius said they did bring their supports over, but not quite in time to be able to do anything to keep Chris alive.
Good rotation. Dyrachyo tends to like his Radiance, from what I've seen at least, so he's probably going to go down that route. But it's, of course, annoying for the Troll, but that's the only real hero that the Radiance is going to affect, so maybe he does just go right-click, but going like Deso build versus Troll doesn't really feel the best, so, I mean, we'll see. Gauze should be just fine. Do they have any extra regen? Okay, they do. Not a whole lot, though.
Top lane. Try to go for Dyrachyo, but he's always ready and waiting with a point in that rage. Just ready for when Whisper jumps in.
Dyrachyo should have a pretty free time up here versus these two melee heroes with an Enchantress
super
behind
hard
him.
to bully the lifestealer. I mean, I was in both carries having a really nice lane.
The only thing that could catch him off guard, of course, is going to be like Smokescreen if they can keep him inside of it during some of the trample if he misuses Rage. But overall, yeah, should have a good time. But yeah, we see Pakaz, definitely the leader of the last hits. Of course, some of those will be the Treants, but either way, he is about 250 gold ahead of that lifestealer at the moment. He's getting a lot of the Treants.
I mean, it's going to be down to really the mid rotations when it comes to these side lanes. Other than that, kind of a support dying here and there is all it feels like we're going to get in these early lanes.
Quinn has hit the 6, so has Chris, but as we said, Chris, he's not going for the Edict build. He's got Stun and Lightning, so difficult for him to take advantage during Rolling Thunder, or if Quinn does make a rotation to try to push tower or anything, because he has Lightning. He can't actually do that. But both very strong at ganking, and we're going to see these rotations for the 6-minute power rune. Very important here. Believe both supports from both sides are going to look to go.
Absolutely. I mean, as I say, the cores at the moment and the state that the lanes are in, they can be left to their own devices, and no one's really at threat of dying 1v1 on either side on the side lane cores.
No, definitely not.
Ну, видимо, сейчас так Dota играет.
I see Quinn stepping up here into the side of the map of EG, but doesn't want to go for Panda with the Rolling Thunder.
There's some pretty, when you look at the supports in comparison to the two mid laners, like these supports are all so fragile, and Lesh and Pango are two of the highest dealing damage mid laners, so quickly if they do get like a rotation success on a support, it's likely they die. Quinn, she's going for early item builds, I mean very standard, but raindrop of course versus Lesh. Trying to get aggressive onto Quinn here.
So a fair bit of damage, but not enough to stop Quinn from having the time to get the Rolling Thunder off successfully. He's going to have to use this to escape, I'd imagine. Can't stick around here.
I mean, they're happy with that. They force a roll.
It takes a lot of pressure sort of off Chris being able to step down into the river and farming this mid lane.
Yep.
And in fact, yeah, Quinn, with as low as his HP and mana, he will take the walk back to base. So, yeah, slowing down sort of the early impact of the Pango.
He knows he has to roll there, because if he doesn't, Matthew is very close. Matthew just jumps and puts the smoke screen down, and then it's just a dead Pango, so it's going to be a bit of time that they don't have to worry on their side lanes. 45 seconds, while Quinn won't have that.
Solid start here from Chris. And the slight lead is the Leshrac.
Whisper is getting slowed down quite a bit, though. They've gone for a lot of little kills onto like the engine stuff like that, so he is the bottom of the cores by a pretty significant margin at the moment. But it's, you know, it's kind of going to happen when you're playing versus this lifestealer lane and you don't get that first blood immediately onto the Ench. You get it a little bit later, but he ended up missing, what, like almost a full wave or more. Let's see where Celery goes with this next move. Right now, just farming it up. They're leaving Dyrachyo alone on an island. Power runes. They're blessed again. Will Quinn contest it? Looks like he will. Chris is relative. I mean, he should be okay. Unless there's like a lot of backup.
Yeah, I don't think Quinn can quite threaten this Lesh.
He's gonna help.
Especially with Panda around.
It's gonna be close.
Ooh, actually, okay. He can. All right, there wasn't any sort of sustain or backup other than to kind of Panda tethering in. All right, that's a big one. They're going to be able to look towards Matthew as well. I mean, I didn't expect that. I don't think EG expected kind of Chris to go down like that as well. They thought they could save him. They could not. That's two dead.
Just Pango things. Max Swashbuckle with Orbital Corrosion. It's ridiculous.
That might be about the fine Whisper as well, eh?
The net. Whisper's got a bail.
All right, indeed. The power of the Pangolier. causing some problems for EG.
Right back to business, though, Chris. Even though he did die, he is 300 ahead anyway versus Quinn. And now Tofu, he's got a lift. Should be all right if he can distance himself. Chris still tried.
Yeah, we'll see how much Chris wants to go for this, but yeah, getting a little too deep there. Celery, he's out with a TP. Nothing that these two can do to stop that.
Pretty solid kill there. And yeah, we're seeing Pakaz, of course, Battle Fury queued up. He's saving skill point in case he needs to go for his ult. Very good timings on his build right there. And have we seen what Duracio's going just yet? Not yet. He's just right now phase armlet, the standard. We'll see very soon.
Yeah, well, I imagine it, as you say, because he likes to do it, and also just because he's having such a free time.
Yeah.
He's going to be like, you know, I can easily farm the Radiance this game.
Gaming. Looking for a smoke, but it's actually under vision. So that ward from Matthew, it will spot out the rotation to bottom. So because he should be careful.
He's going to go Desto. He's going to fight.
He is going to go fight build. I rarely see this from Duracio, so that's pretty cool. I guess like versus the troll, this evasion is very annoying to itemize versus, but it's only versus the troll that is annoying. Everyone else doesn't care about this.
I mean, what heroes up with this Lash, like the IO,
they don't care.
They're going to get shredded by this Deso.
Yeah, it's cool. I like the big burst damage when you're playing versus Lash too, because Lash, the itemization for Lash a lot of times is like, yeah, you want to go for your Bloodstone and stuff like that, but then it's like, oh, I'm kind of fragile versus heavy physical damage.
Absolutely.
Pango thrown in with a Deso from Lifestealer, yeah, could definitely do it.
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty much seeing Quinn be able to do it on his own. He's actually going to find Pakaz here. Tofu heading over as well, but EG, they've got the four of them around. See Chris step up. Quinn is going to get another bounce across, but he will indeed start to back away, respecting the fact that EG's got the numbers.
Respecting the fact that Chris also now has 3 points in Edict. So he went for laning phase with 3 points tons, 2 points lightning. Now he does have Edict to be able to annoy this Pango when he does roll in. That's bottom. Now they're switching up the lanes in a better kind of way, putting Whisper versus that Nature's Prophet since he's the counter. Lots of moves coming out though, but not a whole lot of kills. Still just 3-1. Bit of a quiet early game from what we saw the other day.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
It's going to mean that both carries will be feeling pretty happy. Duracio's still with the lead right now in comparison, but obviously once that Battle Fury's there for Pakaz, high chance he closes the gap.
They're going to have to fight. That's the kind of the call that's going to be made from gaming is set tempo, fight constantly.
You don't want to let this troll farm.
No, definitely
not. If Pakaz is able to farm, he's going to be in a great spot to carry this game.
Absolutely. And they're putting pressure on mid, so very early tower damage here with the two supports and Quinn. They're going to rotate over. It's spotted, though. Whisper, he is under vision from these wards. Oh, and Whisper actually goes, cool. I mean, this is a bit of a new one. He goes for the Soul Ring. The drums is, from what I've seen, is kind of like the new norm. It's either you Vanguard or you phase drum, and you play very aggressive on the Primal Beast. So this is a cool bit. Duracio taking quite a beating here.
Pakaz bullying Duracio away from this lane. So,
this is cool.
Duracio's going to be a bit disgruntled there. He's been enjoying this area of the map nice and peacefully, but now this troll's turned up.
I like that they did the switch up, right? They have this set up bottom. Ace, he gets grabbed. Pretty dead.
They should easily have enough there.
They will lose their mid tower. So gaming, they're kind of sacrificing it that side lane a little bit there to make sure they get mid tower, which is, of course, the bigger deal. Now they're making their own move toward the bottom lane. Can they set up for Whisper here? It's a bit tanky, of course, as this Primal Beast. Level 9 already. And Matthew, he's just going to scout stuff out, so he's going to let Whisper be aware of this.
Oh, that's pretty big there.
That's just the blade.
All right, I guess, yeah, I mean, it was close enough to the money for... I mean, yeah, I guess he was still sort of 700 gold away from the full defusal, Quinn, so...
Oh, top the stun land!
They land the stun for the tree line!
Oh! A massive kill.
Oh, and there goes the tips.
A couple deaths on this Lifestealer are tremendous because he is going for this fighting build. That's just going to allow Pakaz now pretty much to finish Battle Fury.
Honestly, Pakaz is going to get good timing on this Battle Fury. Yeah, Gaming Gladiators, they've got to speed this up.
I feel
Otherwise, it feels like this troll's going to have a good time.
And Matthew's starting to do Matthew things.
I think it's sort of 3 of Gaming Gladiators' couriers taken down there within the last minute.
There's a reason that people ban Matthew's Ricky. He is just a super annoying.
And he's scouting it out as well. He's setting up on top of Ace. They're able to come crashing across. That's Ace gone again.
This is
I think
problematic.
this is, yeah, Gaming Gladiators, they've got to try and stabilize things somehow. They're going to look to make the move top.
Because
It's Quinn's in.
they relocate
And
top.
backup's coming in, but they can't save Picard.
And now
If
Panda.
anything, Gaming Gladiators might get more from this. They turn towards Panda, they take down the Io. See charge across here onto the back lines. Whisper comes crashing across over towards Celery, but Chris has got taken out.
And now Whisper also.
He's got Matthew by his side, but is there anything Matthew can do to help out? Whisper, he's going to opt for the TP away, and he'll make it out safely. Gaming Gladiators, they get 3, they get the 2 big kills there.
Look at
take down the Troll and the Lesh.
Look at Pikaz's experience right now on the Troll. He is literally like 1 XP from hitting at level 10 to have his ulti.
Oh, he could have had it. Honestly,
Went for the green route.
Probably still dies there. Well, there's 4 heroes of
Probably.
Gaming Gladiators. Tofu would have been around with the telekinesis to sort of disable the Troll for a bit during his ult. So all in all, Gaming Gladiators, they probably would have taken that fight regardless. And yeah, they needed to. They needed that sort of move, Gaming Gladiators, because things were getting a little too comfortable for Evil Geniuses.
Matthew, we still see him in his prime position to snipe these couriers constantly. It gives a lot of gold, all these constant couriers. But a big move there for Duraccio in particular.
This is the defusal.
This is it. Is he going to see it?
He's not going to see it. He was so close. I mean, that would have been a huge snipe there.
But he immediately, it's 15 minutes and he instantly has Shard, which is sometimes that can be a bit difficult to get on these rookies. So it's going to be a very early timing. And this Shard, even though it's gotten nerfed, especially versus Lifestealer and versus Pango, this allows you to get the setup to prevent the Rolling Thunder, to prevent you from getting the Rage, to potentially get that setup onto them there. So very farmed Ricky already. Some decent kills there coming out from Gaming, but it does feel like I want to see them keep going for these aggressive plays. Ace is about to have Ags, so it's going to be a very good timing for him for this global route.
Yep. I mean, yeah, you can see this as well. Actually, they're trying to be so careful with their couriers. Like Tofu's sort of taking his around the potential ward spot that he knows Matthew's going to be watching. As over in the river, and they're able to take out Celery, but Gaming Gladiators taking a look to try and fight back into this one and get another cross across here from Quinn with the Rolling Thunder. They can now look towards Panda as Chris and Panda taken out by Quinn.
So much damage. I mean, Quinn, as we said, you know, even though they maybe, of course, they probably saw this Pango coming. He's 3-0 5. He's having a spectacular game anyway. And he is doing the itemization that I actually really like when you're playing versus Ricky. You can't go for your Shard. You have to actually go BKB to prevent this annoying little dagger smokescreen and stuff like that. So I like if he goes for this build. I mean, Matthew's just living here.
And as I say, like you can clearly see the Gaming Gladiators. They're being so careful, or they're trying to be careful with their courier movement. But yeah, Matthew still able to find these catches.
I mean, this is his home. He knows all he has to do. I mean, the whole draft from EG really is get the farm for Troll. If they just delay all these items, delay timings, that's where they're going to thrive for this Troll. But Gaming, they're kicking up the pace. They've got Deso straight into Roche. They're knowing they're stronger right now at the moment inside of those fights, so unlikely that EG can make their way over here. Yeah, it's dead or it's going to die very quick.
It's just unfair.
Looks like they're going to give Quinn this Aegis. I like it. I mean, Quinn, he's having a pretty phenomenal game so far anyway, so he's going to be the aggressor, and they're actually setting up the infest.
This is going to be a quick move bottom. See what they can find. It's Matthew in the triangle, but ideally they wanted one of the cores. Chris and Whisper backing away on that bottom lane.
I want to see what Chris queues up next. It's like he needs BKB, but he also needs armor. So this is like always the bit of that struggle I was mentioning from earlier for the Leshrac when you're versus such high physical.
Here we go.
Matthew.
He'll get this. Yeah, he'll get this one right.
Does he get the range? He's not quite in range. Can't get the trick.
Can't. A little too speedy there, the courier this time around. Maybe he'll get it on the way back, or maybe he'll get this other one coming out.
I mean, this is his home. He is so annoying on this Ricky. This is like Bounty Hunter of the old days. And another one.
Thank you.
Oh, this is obnoxious.
I mean, when do you move on from sniping couriers, or do you don't? Is this...
Honestly, why would he?
Oh, here we go.
He can set up for kills with the relocate constantly, but they have to have tabs.
I mean, he's doing exactly that as well.
Yep.
Yeah, Matthew, he's got eyes on Ace.
And another courier.
And he'll get his courier. Won't be able to get it before the item was delivered.
They got to get out. EG, a bit too deep here.
Oh, no. Maybe Matthew baited them in. His own teammates, let's see if Chris and Panda can get out of this. They can. A re-reload will be back in time to take them out. So they get away.
As Matthew stays in his home. I mean, economical damage. It's like the gold lead is less than 1,000. How much gold total do you think has been from those couriers? Like easily a couple thousand.
A tithe to the impurities.
Oh no, there's another one coming. No, take it. I said there was a period where they were sort of taking them all. I gotta say, Tofu I think's been the most careful. I've seen Tofu, his courier. It's always taken the tree line. He's never sort of like just absently-mindedly calling it to himself. He's being very careful. Tofu's courier, that's a rare one for Matthew to try and snipe.
Can we get a Matthew heat map at some point soon? Of course. I mean, we're just gonna see it here, but
I imagine we don't. But I wonder if we have like the.
Look at it.
No, we had this earlier.
We did. I know.
Our beautiful observers showed it earlier.
I know.
But I wonder if we had the stat on whose courier is dying the most. You know, who's being the laziest with their courier delivery?
That's true.
Oh, we don't know.
No.
With the technology's not quite there.
That's okay.
Radiant's top tower
Gaming though, trying to kick up the pace. EG, they're starting to get close to timings though. BKB's done on Whisper. Smile, Chris is getting relatively close, and Pakaz also. So they're gonna have a triple BKB timing, but Gaming, they're trying to shut this down.
Quinn. And he's gonna start onto Pakaz. Pakaz
Accepts his death.
Yeah, he's not even gonna bother popping the ult. There's no saving himself.
Good moves. His global root is being very strong right now from Ace. Even though he has died twice, he is setting up for a lot. And this isn't the most traditional from Ace. As we've seen a lot of times, he usually goes for more of like that carry route. He's definitely taking a bit of that back foot in this game to set up for kills.
Matthew.
So
Got the setup onto Tofu. He will come out for the mech, but it won't save Tofu. Pulverized Quinn, but he got the shield crash off in time. Ace TP's over, ready to help out.
They're on Chris.
Gonna try for the TP away, but they've got enough damage here with Duracio and that Desolator just tearing through the Leshrac.
And very likely to lose Panda as well. He's got targets to tether to. Will he be able to get away?
Oh, Quinn's very low here, but he's happy to lose the Aegis if necessary. Caught in the smoke screen, and indeed the Aegis will be taken away, but indeed Whisper just comes crashing through the four of them, gets on top of Ace. They'll be able to take Ace down. See Duracio trying to dive here under the tier 2, looking for Matthew, but Matthew he's going to get slowed down here by the open wounds, but the Pulverize is there. They catch Duracio. And Gaming Gladiator is punished there in that awkward spot around the tier 2. Duracio trying to dive in for some extra action, but already his teammates were kind of dead. EG was in a perfect position to clean up.
They thought they'd be able to just get a free IO kill, but EG just turns up with numbers. Whisper, literally, like you said, comes crashing through beautifully onto 3 heroes.
They were not ready to deal with that. You could see from Gaming Gladiators, they clearly felt that they would have a much better chance kind of letting Quinn die and coming back in with that Aegis respawn to go for the fight. But yeah, there's this area where they're all grouped up. They're all straight through, the 3 of them. Clears up Celery with the trample, and then bam, on top of Ace, him and Pakaz. There's no escape for the Prophet.
These mistakes compound too, playing versus the Troll, who has Battle Fury.
I mean, and he's in a good spot now.
He sure is.
He's got the core items. He's got his BKB Pakaz. It's very hard to kill this man.
It's just Chris who is constantly in the struggle, of course. Until he has BKB plus that armor item that he does end up getting, he is going to constantly be threatened. But honestly, he's the one who can take the step back this game. It's Pakaz, of course, who's the real carry.
Is he going to be able to get this current time? Tumbler's toy?
Of course he will.
There's another one.
Dire's courier has been killed.
My lord.
It's so beautifully annoying.
Oh, and Whisper, this is cool. Even though he's got phase boots, he wants the bongos. Very good this game, of course.
Yep.
I mean, very good every game, it feels like. Cool.
Quinn, he's looking for action.
Chris is still fragile.
Get him with the Rolling Thunder. Whisper's going to try and come into our pace. Healing up with the Bloodstone here, Chris, and they're ready to turn. They take down Tofu. Quinn's not going to have enough damage on his own to threaten Chris anymore, because they have to start running here, Gaming Gladiators, but Matthew is in with the chase. He gets the lead set up into the stun. Quinn's gone, jump forward from Matthew over towards Celery.
That's the gem.
I mean, they're crumbling, Gaming Gladiators. They needed to get this lead, and they needed to hold on to it. If they start losing these fights, Pakaz, he's going to take over this. Charles, top of the net worth. He has his BKB. Next time's flying out as well. They can't afford to take these sort of scrappy fights.
I thought he'd be a little bit more fragile too. Sure, yes, he's got Bloodstone in the heals from the IO, but oh my goodness.
They get the
Matthew.
setup. They're straight in onto the Lifestealer. As Duracio, he's dead as well.
Uh-oh.
They're falling apart here, Gaming Gladiators. Evil Genius is just looking a bit more, I don't know, just the game plan seems a bit more simpler for them. They know what to do. They've got this game under control. And Gaming Gladiators, they're panicking.
They feel the need to play like super over aggressive. They're probably like, we have to make these moves onto Chris Muck because otherwise we're just gonna get out farmed. But very close to tier 2 and just gets completely demolished. And now a 5K lead, Pakaz has a basher.
Yeah, this troll is huge.
And now
he's going to be a problem.
He's a problem for the Pango. He's a problem for the Lifestealer. He's a problem for literally everybody on the side of gaming. They cannot make another mistake in this game. Otherwise, it's very unlikely they can come back. And yeah, that's a huge mistake too, because not only is it a fight loss, they just bought Gem and lost it instantly. So Matthew now has that to be able to deward everything and continue going for these courier
A little bit of revenge there. The courier sniper gets his own courier sniped as Matthew's courier falls to the grave.
Dire's middle tower
Where do you go from
is
here
under
now, though,
attack.
for gaming? You're constantly the one who's being threatened because now you don't have Gem. You're limited on sentries. Matthew is a total pest. He's setting up for all these kills non-stop. You have to try to get your Gem back.
They try and set up here with the route for the Nature's Prophet ult. Matthew,
He passes
he's
off the
jumping
Gem.
around, and indeed, he passes it to Whisper. And Whisper, of course, much more difficult to chase down, even though they do try. Quinn committing with the Rolling Thunder, but cannot close the gap. I mean, Matthew, again, even when he's dying, he's being annoying.
He's
not
obnoxious.
letting them get that Gem. He's playing this perfectly as the Ricky.
And that was
really is the perfect. I mean, the panel kind of hyping him up, and you can see why. You know, this Ricky, he's a monster.
And that was the right move, too. I feel like for gaming, it still might be like a similar thing where they want to like 4-man smoke up or something and try to recover this Gem because it is really so important to deal with this Ricky. But yeah, just quick little pass off. Whisper runs away. And now Chris, what is he? His BKB's done. And I believe he's very likely to have an armor item right afterwards. So he's going to be even more difficult to bring down, too, now at this point.
EG ready to start to pushes themselves. They know how strong they are around Pakaz.
They're relocating top. Matthew's setting up already.
Duracho's trying to make his way out, but they're not going to have the control onto the siege creep here with Matthew holding the sleep dart for the siege creep. And with the smoke screen to follow up, there's no way of getting this Lifestealer out of the cloud.
You need to ban this guy's Ricky.
I think you do. It's just sort of broken them. It's just broken the game.
Yeah.
From sort of sniping the couriers to setting up across the map.
Oh, and he's part of all 15 kills.
Is he actually as well? There you go.
He's part of all 15 kills.
Yeah.
I don't even know how much gold he's probably gotten for the team just sniping couriers. An absolute
good.
menace. Even when this hero was... I mean, even though this hero's gotten nerfed, he just makes it look broken. Celery. See you later.
Another one here for Evil Geniuses. Yeah, I mean, at this point, they're kind of making it look easy.
I mean, there's very limited moves. It feels like gaming can do at this point. There's no BKB still on the Lifestealer. Sure, the Pango's got one, but Lifestealer and Nature's Prophet and the two supports, they're just food. And Roche now, it is back up. Prime there for the picking for EG if they want to make their way in there. Gaming might have to... I mean, they can't. I mean, they might have to just kind of go for some YOLO snipe play to go for that rush, but it's going to be spotted. They've lost full control.
I mean, Quinn, he has to put the BKB here. Getting threatened by Whisper. Has to just BKB to get away.
He probably doesn't know the exact timing of the relocate, and it was going to be coming back up in a couple seconds. If he doesn't BKB, just gets grabbed, and then a potential reload is a kill on him.
Just under huge amounts of pressure now, Gaming Gladiators.
Oh, and Quinn.
And
no BKB.
Here comes the relocate. Matthew with the setup, and of course this time Quinn, he ain't got no BKB. It's on cooldown. They're going to try and see if they can chase in for more here. Pakaz charging in with his own BKB. Gets in on top of Tofu. First hit bash. Double kill for Pakaz. Gaming Gladiators, they need a backup plan, but it feels like they just don't have one this game.
No. This troll is massive. Lifestealer bottom of the net worth, and now they're the ones who's going to get that Roche. They're going to get a free shard. Likely give that one to Chris. And Chris, oh, he actually got blessed. He got a blast rig. So he doesn't even need to build the armor item this game that he might have maybe required at some points. So free blast rig.
Who's taking the shard?
It's the Lesh, I'd imagine.
Get on the Lesh, yeah.
Yeah. Then they can set up for like pushes and stuff like that too. They'll get a blast rig on the side of Gaming Gladiators too, but it's nowhere near as impactful from having this Lesh, having it picked up. And Matthew, he's already on the hunt.
Matthew.
Duracho, they know.
For you. Oh, yeah, and he does, though. Rages to get back up to the high ground. Doesn't want to lead to the risk of Matthew setting up.
They actually gave Whisper the shard. So he's got the rock throw.
All right.
Sure. It looks cool.
It does.
Dire's middle
Something else that, you know, maybe you can sort of catch Quinn at the side of the fight,
That's
trying to
true.
roll up and suddenly get smashed by a rock and gets delayed.
Sure, why not? He can do the chain stun thing also when you have this.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah, you can chain stun without letting people get BKB off when you pulverize charge and then rock throw. Or
Sure. I mean, yeah, he's already been playing really nice between kind of the stun of the onslaught and the pulverize.
I mean, he's also
the maximum lockdown whisper.
7-0 and 8.
Yeah.
Even though his lane maybe wasn't the best because they went for like the early kills. EG just cruising at this point. What does gaming do?
I don't know.
I do not know.
It's tough. Like the problem is just all three of their cores are. Yeah, it's not like they've got one core that's silently having a great game. Everybody's falling behind in comparison to the cores of Evil Geniuses.
And this troll pick just gets better and better as the game progresses versus the three cores that he's up again. It's godly versus all three cores.
Exactly. The part of the draft when it was picked in, we have 4 heroes shown from Gaming Gladiators. Troll was great against them all. They had that one chance to go for something as the final pick, the Pango. Of course, Pango does have a lot of strengths against the Troll. But at this point, when the Pango, you know, Quinn's not been able to pop off this game. He's fell behind. The Troll now at a stage with the items that he has. He doesn't care about the Pango. He's in with the BKB. What's the Pango going to do? By the time the BKB is over, this Troll's probably killed half of the Pango's team.
He's got 700 GPM on this, and now he pretty much has Aghanims done. So shield crash, see you later. All these buffs, etc. He's going to be able to dispel them off. Same thing off of himself too.
Yep.
This is going to be incredibly strong, and now even more armor. So sure, you had a Deso, doesn't matter.
Your desolation and the world's are one.
That 20 talent coming in.
As I say, I mean, of course, at this point in the game, it's going to be very interesting just to see what Gaming Gladiators tried to do. Because they're really stuck between a rock and a hard place right now.
Absolutely.
Getting out of this sort of situation, it seems almost impossible.
And mid again, there's Matthew.
He's going to have to BKB Quinn.
Can he even live though?
I mean, Picard is on top of him, the route into the bash. Quinn will be able to get the swashbuckle off. And see Duracho trying to help out with the infest, but Picard is in, takes him down. And now he can look over towards Duracho as this Troll, he's far too farmed. Triple kill for Picard. It was always going to be a problem. You could tell it from the start. Picard, he was having a pretty chill opening game. Gaming Gladiators never got that far ahead. And Picard, he's able to farm, and now he's ready to carry. And Gaming Gladiators, they just don't have the answer. They can't stop this Troll.
Everyone's massive. All cores enormous. Matthew's done his damage with his low net worth. Did they? I think they actually maybe did. Did they keep the gem somewhere, or did they actually take it back? Oh, Whisper got it back. So Matthew was holding it for a second, but yeah, they get it again. And these BKBs won't help you. I think Duracho even pops it at the last second there and just dies.
He did as well. It just doesn't matter.
Nope.
The roots, the bashes. Picard, he's going to be able to lock you down if he's on top of you.
They're just getting the push started. They're going to the base.
Trying to dive in for some more kills here. Tofu will be able to hold back Picard with a sleep dart, but Celery and still getting on top of him. Another kill for EG, 23-13, 18k lead right now. Just 32 minutes in.
Look at Picaz go.
And
They don't have a creep wave though. Celery he's also sniping some couriers himself, but they don't need the wave.
Yeah, backdoor protection hasn't quite kicked back in yet. So EG still going to town on these barracks. They have to use the fortification. Gaming Gladiators. He's finally got his BKB, but as we've seen before, the BKBs don't really do too much when Picard is in on top of you. Picard's ready to pop his BKB. Yeah, trying to force Duracho to stage, they'll get him out to the side, but the sleep dart is there. Sprout will try and hold back Whisper, but he's able to trample his way out of it. Picard has to be a bit careful now. BKB and his ult both on cooldown. Will be able to get out to the low ground. See if they can take down Chris. He's able to BKB TP. They don't have anything to stop it. So EG, a little bit of a dive. Doesn't cost them anything, though. They get everybody out of there alive.
That was the window there for gaming to perhaps get one, but everybody bailing each other out perfectly. They'll get one.
They get the IO. They get Panda on the way back.
The smallest prize. Yeah, this is devastating. Nice job from Celery, at the least. He definitely prevents this Rax from being taken out from creep cutting and stuff like that, but it feels like it's just delaying the inevitable. Because when is a Lifestealer ever going to be able to stand toe-to-toe with a troll? Not only just with a troll, but a troll who has 10,000 gold ahead of him.
Yeah, Picard is just so far ahead right now.
Massive. And Matthew, he's just so disruptive. He always gets headbanned, it feels like, on this hero also. Blink 4-step, always setting up for reload plays, always giving information.
I mean, you feel without a doubt kind of, you know, what's been said over at the moment in kind of the Gaming Gladiators camp is going to be, we can't play against this Riki next game.
I would imagine so. There's a lot of, if I'm not mistaken, a bunch of teams have been banning it out quite early.
Riki. Yeah.
They banned the Riki or they banned like the Death Prophet and stuff like that from C-Smile, but when Riki was, you know, the super OP Riki, it was getting taken away from Matthew constantly. He just really, they know exactly how to play with it, and when they have this type of lineup that they know is going to outscale if they get timings, he loves to go for this courier sniping action.
I mean, he's just done so much for so little, right? He's hit the hero over the patches. It's been nerfed. He's bottom net worth, but he's probably one of the strongest contenders for MVP right now.
Yep, definitely.
Just does so much from this position on this hero.
Yep. Not even just invis, just like Smokescreen is always going to be so valuable. Even if there's heroes that have ways to prevent it with rage and stuff, you just get it on them before that, and we've seen that time and time again. Gaming. Gonna go for some attempt here at a smoke.
Yeah. Could be sort of one last shot here. They'll give it.
They're actually just gonna walk right into Pakaz, the worst hero possible.
I mean, Pakaz teased them, but he's like, you know what? I'm happy to take this fight. He goes into the BKB in the battle chart, straight away in onto Dyrachyo. As Dyrachyo, he'll try and get out with the Infest. We'll be able to jump into Quinn in time. The support's getting completely smashed in by Whisper, who charges in, pops the BKB, they take down Ace. As they're ready to push him for more here, EG pretty much all at full HP here. No damage has been done by Gaming Gladiators as the Hex is there onto Quinn. Godlike for Pakaz.
I imagine they're going to call this one pretty soon.
They may tap out soon. We'll see how long they want to play on in this one, but it really does feel like this is just turned into a complete stomp here from EG.
Pakaz just literally walks in, and there's nothing they can do to him.
He walks in, he sees the fourth, and there's a moment where he's like, oh. But then he's like, oh, I'm just going to kill them all. We're just going to fight. Celery goes down in the mid lane. And they're just taking down the racks with the backdoor protection here.
Right through it. Probably discussing things at the moment for the next game.
Ban Riki.
Ban Riki.
Yeah, the two words that I'm sure that... Let's go in between the teammates there.
It's also just the way that the picking of the Lifestealer was a risk, because even though they got Troll, it did feel like there was maybe even more options for the side of EG. This probably was the best one, but there was still like Ursas and Slarks and stuff like that. They had a lot of different answers they could have perhaps gone for. EG looking very strong in this tournament so far.
These guys look great.
Ace?
Oh. He can BKB, but they're taking your barracks. Everything's gone. Mega creeps are out.
I don't think I've seen Tofu able to get a single, like, good spell steal this game. Of course, it's been very one-sided for the last, like, 15 minutes or so, but...
Hey, he got a sleep dart.
He did get one,
when they were diving high ground,
Fine.
I saw a stolen sleep dart save Celery for a couple more seconds.
And I guess in the top lane when they got that little bit of, like, momentum kills, he did get a Lesh stun, but besides that, I feel like EG just have been keeping tabs, jumping on the right heroes constantly, and just playing super aggressive.
I like this as well. You know, sometimes teams, when they're in this comfortable spot, they're like, yeah, we'll let them sort of... you know, we'll just chill, wait for them to come to us. Nah, EG, they smoke up as 5. They're ready to end this.
Yep, they've got Rapier queued up already too on Pakaz. Why not?
As Whisper, he's in, straight on top of Ace. They'll try and force Ace back to safety. Ace has got to be careful, right? The BKB's still on cooldown, gets caught by the second Hex. They're in with the stun. Pakaz in on top of Ace, and in on top of Dyrachyo as well, as Dyrachyo jumps out, but straight into the axes of Pakaz. As Pakaz and C-Smile take him out, GG is called. EG with a fantastic game one against Gaming Gladiators. We don't see many teams let Gaming Gladiators get Quinn that last pick Pango and